of our league. So, a really good, complete win for us. I've used the word consistency with our group. Talked about that from the day we got back from the break. And I thought tonight was about as consistent as we've been for 40 minutes. And we played a complete game and shared the ball. Had 8 turnovers, which is certainly a step in the right direction after the last couple games. And I thought we had good movement on the offensive end and got the ball to the right guy. It was great to see Casey get it going. I love that his family was in the building. It's a special thing, being away from his family for as long as he has the last few years, and for them to witness this event. I told him they need to find a place over here. He seems to be pretty damn good when they're in the building. And then Rink's parents were able to be here as well. And the thing you got to understand about Rink, he had his procedure done the day after the Kansas State game, and he's really had a day and a half of practice. And for him to go out there, probably played a few more minutes than we would have liked just because of the foul trouble. And the communication that we had with the medical staff, he did not have a limit on his minutes per se, but we wanted to try to, get him in and out as much as possible. I got him out of there early. That was by design. And then with the foul trouble in the first half, we had to have him on the floor. He just does so many things for us with his versatility on both ends. But, for the most part, I thought just the consistency, CJ going out there, we did a great job finding him. Unfortunately, he went down with back spasms in the second half. But, from start to finish, I was really pleased with the effort that our guys gave.
You had some pretty good looks in the first. You got some pretty good looks in the first half.
Want to flip a coin?
Pretty good looks in the first half from 3, and then they didn't go in. And then the second half they went in, especially early.
Yeah. I thought Rink had a couple of really good looks that were right there, in and out. Sam had a good look that hit that grazed the back of the rim. Those are the misses. If you are going to miss, that's where you want them. We had one other one. I think it was Casey had a wide open one that didn't fall. And, second half, I thought we played smart. We had a couple possessions I would have liked back, but I thought we played smart. And when we got the lead up, I thought we had good patience out there. It's a very good defensive team that obviously has got great length across the board. So, I thought the movement and the sharing was, what we need to bottle up and continue on the rest of the Big Ten season. It's going to be very important. Wisconsin, obviously, it's what they do. They're as good as anybody in the country on that end of the floor, and you have to have movement. You can't be stagnant down there, or they're going to make you look ugly. So, this is a good win. We got to learn from it, get back to work tonight, and put an edit together, a cleanup of this one, and then move on and put a game plan together for Wisconsin on a short prep with an early game on Saturday.
You touched on the turnovers, but felt like it played a very aggressive defense tonight with double teaming. How do you think you did in making Indiana uncomfortable, and how much of a priority was that?
Well, we had to adjust the second half. They did a really good job of just throwing the ball up to the front of the rim, and we had no answer for it when they were posting Renault and Ware was just going right to the front of the rim, and we had to switch up our coverages and go a little bit more one-on-one in the post. And, it's something that we have, with our defense. We obviously, you can see it. We like to force that thing, down and trap it if it gets too low. But they did a good job kind of baiting us and throwing the lob up. But I thought the guys made a good adjustment out there and, again, got good activity. The guy I want to point out, Josiah, I thought was terrific tonight. He 29 minutes. He doesn't take a shot, but you can argue he was as important as anybody on the floor. 8 rebounds. The play he made where he dove from underneath the basket first to the floor, basically got the ball at the free throw line, and that got us out in transition. So, Joe, with foul trouble that we had, I thought was huge for us out there.
Early January, a couple weeks ago on Rink, he'd come back, but I'm guessing a week ago you didn't know when that would be, and you've got all these games stacked on top of each other. You have to feel pretty good about just back to what he did tonight and the games ahead.
Yeah, and he missed a couple easy ones at the rim, I thought, and he, like I said, had a couple shots that were right there in the first half. But he does so many things for us on the floor. You can play through him at the elbow. He makes good, safe plays for us. He's got great ball security. He steps up and makes his free throws. So he just he gives us so much on the floor, whether he's scoring the ball or not. And I think he was a plus 17, only behind Jamarcus' plus 19. But great to get him back out on the floor.
Hi, so here from W Magazine. You told me that NBA from the feedback of NBA workout is Casey has to learn playmake, but it's difficult to balance. You need bucket more than playmaking. You said it, but today he did it, and I'm wondering, do you think is it possible to be a scorer to get the next level?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the thing that Casey does so well is his ability to space the floor. And when he's open, I think everybody's in the building is shocked when the ball doesn't go in the basket. So that's what our world of basketball is turning into with analytics, is guys that can space the floor and make shots. There's so many great playmakers that can get into the paint, and when you have a guy like Casey spacing the floor, that's going to, the gravity that he provides is going to force the defender closer and either open up a play to the rim or get an open shot. So, those teams at that level and at the highest level of basketball now, when you have as many shooters as you can on the floor, those are the teams that are always in it at the end. So Casey's ability to shoot the ball, I thought he made some nice floaters today. Hit a couple mid-range shots, and did a good job getting to the basket a couple times. So he's just, again, he's got the ability to score it so well with his ability to shoot, and that's what's so attractive all in basketball all around the world now, is when you have get as many of those guys as possible.
What has CJ done for you lately, and what have you seen from him in the last 3 games that's enabled him to play?
Yeah, CJ's been unbelievable for us. And, you look back at that North Dakota game, we were in trouble. And CJ was the one guy that was making shots for us in that first half that kept us really in striking distance. And you see him go out there tonight. Without CJ, we don't have a, whatever it was, 9 or 10 point lead at halftime. He's one of those guys right now that's shooting the ball with a lot of confidence. And, it was good to see him get it going again tonight. I hated it that he got the back spasms because, he was on his way to a really good overall game. But, I just love the way CJ's playing right now. I like the confidence that he's playing with. He, got in the floor over there in the right corner on the other end of the in front of Indiana's bench. But, he's doing a lot of things for us right now.
Fred, the first couple minutes of the second half, just how important was that? And I think you pushed it up to 15, like 2 minutes in or something.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've talked a lot about that. We had a couple games, Creighton, Minnesota, where it did not go our way, and it's been a big thing that we've talked about with our guys going out and trying to set the tone, either getting back into a game or extending a lead. And tonight, to get it up to 15 right away and force a timeout, that was an important stretch. You hate to go out there and they score the first 3 buckets, and now you call a timeout and they get confident and they get a little swagger going, and now you're fighting uphill. But I was proud of our guys for coming out of the locker room and really played good aggressive basketball in that second half, and really for the entire 20 minutes. Thanks, guys.
Momentarily.
Defensive effort tonight with the forced turnovers, the steals, and kind of everything you did on that end of the floor. How much of that was that a priority for you guys going into this game to be dominant on that end of the floor?
I mean, Coach had been telling us all week, and we were aware, this is, the best test we'll have in terms of a team trying to win the game in the paint. And so we knew right away, everybody's going to be attacking us inside. And obviously, Ware's, like a all-conference level big, and extremely talented, and they're 4-man too. I knew I was gonna have a big responsibility, and so coming into this game, I knew that me, Juan, and Rink are really gonna have to set the tone in order for us to really get any momentum going. And obviously got off to a little bit of a slow start in the game with Ware getting some easy ones, but then once everybody kind of got going and got it figured out, we really got to. It's kind of it really got our offense fired up, and that's when he started going crazy, and he has some amazing defensive plays himself. But yeah, every game I go into, I'm just locked in on my defensive assignments and just try to let the rest of the stuff figure itself out.
On your mind.
Okay.
Yeah, no, go Wilson.
Casey, when you got hot in the second half, just how do you what was going right for you? How were you able to find your rhythm there?
I think like once I start making the shot, I think I also start moving well too. So that's what makes me like special. Like I feel like, but like I also gotta start playing from the beginning. Like yeah, but like once I get rhythm, like I have 100% confidence. Just play hard.
How special is it to do that in front of your family?
It was, yeah, it was awesome to see, with my family here, to show them big win against Indiana. That was awesome. That was great.
If I can add on top of that, like one of the things that like makes Casey so special is, he can have like a series of games when like he hasn't been like he was tonight. But the thing is that you can't ever go into any game thinking, all right, we can, kind of game plan around like somebody else. Because as soon as you give him even an ounce of confidence or space, you got to risk something like tonight happening where he just takes over and then you're, basically SOL. And, tonight, like he got to, show what he's capable of again and, flashes of last year. And so, yeah, I'm happy that it was against Indiana, a team where like we really needed it. But yeah, he's a hell of a talent.
What goes through your mind when he is going off like that and like playing off the crowd and just being Casey?
I love it. The thing that I enjoyed the most was, his extra effort plays. Like the one I keep going back to was, when he was sprinting back in transition and saved us from giving up an easy one by tipping it out of bounds. Like those are the ones that really get me fired up. Like whenever he comes in and gets a defensive rebound, just because like things like that are kind of like what most people would call like his like weaknesses. And so once he's like really rolling in that aspect, I know that the other stuff is going to be elite. And, it's really fun to be out there just because, it's amazing to watch. Obviously it's fun to watch from the stands, but, when you're, huffing and puffing, trying to figure out where the next one's going to come, and then you just see K-State lob one from 30 feet and it cashes out. You're like, oh, thank God. It definitely helps you just build momentum out of kind of some very stagnant times during the game.
What do you defensively? What do you have to do? What are the challenges of a bigger front court with Ware and Renew, where you're giving up a couple inches, having to guard them?
The biggest thing is just trying to make sure that they know it's not going to come easy. Obviously, like they obviously have like from the looks of it the advantage down low, but like where we got to like really earn our stripes is everything that they do get, they got to work for it. If they're going to try, like every time, we send a double, we got to have guys like coming back. So in that way, next time they catch it, they're going to be a lot more hesitant. They're going to be, a little bit more timid, and, they're going to be a little scared to make that exit pass. And, they're going to be approaching the rim a little bit worried about someone coming down and digging it out. I think Jamarcus probably had like 5 dig outs out of the gaps and stuff. It really just comes down to heart. Like I've never been like the biggest dude outside of high school. Like I've always been, playing from behind. And I kind of love that just because then when we do pull it out tonight, it just means even more. Cause it's like, they're supposed to be like the better front court, whatever it is. And, like I know I'm up here talking, but Rink and Juan all had their moments. Like Juan just kind of got the short end of the stick with foul trouble, but that's kind of what makes us dangerous. Is we got 3 guys that can come and like have super impactful games down low and just make the little plays we need to keep teams like that at bay and not let them get a lot of momentum going down there.
To either one of you, how much of a statement is this, especially following Minnesota to go on a run and to get 2 big back-to-back Big Ten wins with the start that you've had this season? Minnesota's always just going to be lingering back there. That's one we definitely wish that we could play again. But it kind of did a lot for us because kind of similar to tonight, against Minnesota, we did an amazing job in the first half. We did a good job like shutting down their bigs and their paint attack and kind of getting our stuff rolling. And I think probably pretty similar like point differential. But then the only difference was when we were at Minnesota, we came out in the second half and just completely fell apart. And so that was one of the main things that Coach Nate and Coach Hoiberg were talking about in halftime was
like we can't think like, oh, we got it going, like, you know, we know what we need to do. It's like, no, like this is a brand new game. Like we can't expect nothing to come as easy as it was in the first half. You know, they're trying to win this just as much as we are. And so just coming out knowing that like we have to reestablish ourselves and, you know, show that we're the more dominant, physical, explosive team really just kind of got us going. And I mean, it wasn't all, you know, flamethrowers and four-wheelers to start it, but you know, we came out and, you know, we had a couple good stops and, you know, good plays and really just kind of got us back in that groove. And then that's when obviously Casey just opened up and then, you know, kind of blew the doors off.
Mike, somebody go ahead.
Okay, Casey, yesterday your mother said this year you pass a lot, turn down a lot of shots, looking like you want to be a assist leader or something. Did her comment help you to be yourself tonight?
Yeah, maybe a little, man. You know, but you know, I just always play like how I play. You know, I don't. You know, if I see the open, I shoot the ball. You know, if I see somebody open, I pass the ball. You know, that's how I always play. So, you know, I'm not just looking for the assists. You know, but I'm also not just looking for the shoot. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I love about having someone like Casey out there on the floor, is like, you know, if Casey puts it up, I assume it was a good look. You know, it's one of those things where as soon as like, I mean, he's really good with making the right play, and at the same time, like calling his own number when he feels he's got it going. You know, and like there's times, you know, he'll come off a handoff, just push it ahead, you know, cut to the corner, whatever it is. And then tonight, you know, it was one of those things when he was coming up, he's like, Joe. You know, he's like he's trying to get it, and, you know, he's letting it go. That's when he got got sent to the line for 3 of them, kind of kept the lead going. And, you know, I don't ever want him to become like a pass-first player. You know, that's what makes him elite, is that other teams have to know if you fall asleep on him, he's going to burn you. And if he doesn't, you better be careful, because if he does, you know, it's going to become a, what would you call it, a little stampede that you can't slow down. So.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
That's a candidate for quote teaser.
For planning purposes, we may do something Friday, not sure. If it is, it's just coach. So I'm still waiting on the final schedule for the